Alright, we're finally back at it. Here is a recap of episode 4 of Agatha All Along. I'm sorry I haven't posted a recap video since episode 3. It's just that I live in Florida, and with the hurricanes and losing power, and it's just been a really stressful situation, but I'm back at it. Alright, this episode starts right where we left off with Mrs. Hart being dead and Teen burying her. The coven starts having a discussion about if they should continue on the road or if they should replace Mrs. Hart. Of course, Agatha's just like, let's go. We don't have to have the whole coven once we already opened the road. It's just to open the road. Everybody else is like, no, these trials are made for every witch and we need a green witch. So the coven comes to the decision to summon a green witch, a new witch, to the road. Once the decision was made to summon a new witch, we all knew who was coming. Rio. Aubrey Plaza comes in and she is amazing. She gives off the vibe of, I'm here because I want to be here and I'm going to get what I want and I don't care about anything else. Of course, I have some theories about the real reason Rio is there and her purpose in this whole thing, but I will save that for later. They got their green witch and they head down to the next trial. They walk up to the house and Alice starts freaking out saying she's not going in. And that just shows us that this trial is Alice's trial. The rest of the coven tells Alice that they have to do this, they have to continue down to this road, and they have to go to the next trial, so she has to go into the house. That's when they walk in and it's confirmed to be Alice's trial. They have new costumes and I just want to say they all look fantastic. My favorite was, of course, either Agatha or Rio's. But Lydia's was great too, so don't make me choose. They come up with the idea to search the house for the clue like in the last trial with the cardstock on the fireplace mantle. Rio is trying to be all cutesy and flirty with Agatha, but Agatha's like, no, I'm not having any of that, you stay in your place. More stuff happens. Without giving too much away, they realize that they are cursed. And the only way to break the curse is to play the ballad again. Which is fantastic because we got another version of the ballad and it is a bop. Alice comes to the conclusion that her mother wrote this song to protect her because anywhere at any time there's someone listening or singing the song, so Alice is always protected. Which is super sweet and I love that they threw that in there. Before they start jamming out, there's a demon that is attacking them and Teen gets thrown across the room. Everyone runs to go check on Teen. He's like, I'm okay, but does that mean I'm part of the coven because we share each other's burdens and curses? Which is hilarious the way he said that because it's such a teenager thing to think and be like, oh yeah, now I'm part of the group. Then they start jamming out and that version of the ballad is so catchy and it's been in my head for the last 2 weeks. While jamming out, Teen looks at his side and we see that he is bleeding and he is hurt. He doesn't say anything to the coven about it, he just continues to play. As they are playing it, Alice gives it more heart and more soul and you can see that she's getting her confidence and she's getting her strength and she defeats the demon curse thing. After the demon curse thing is defeated, that's when the piano opens, showing that they finished the trial and revealing the way back to the road. That's when Teen collapsed onto the ground and everyone's like, oh my gosh, what happened? And they realize that he is bleeding and that he is injured. Agatha's like, we gotta get him out of here, and that's when they do a cutscene back to the road. Agatha's freaking out. She's like, what can we do? How can we help him? She looks at Rio and she says, don't. Not sure what that means yet, but I have a couple of theories. Rio looks back at her like, oh, me? What am I doing? That's when Agatha looks at Jen and says, how can we help him? What do you need? And Jen's like, we need moonlight and water. And Jen actually heals Teen. Which is amazing because technically Jen said she was bound. And here she is performing magic. Everyone's like, Jen, you did it. That's amazing. Jen heals Teen and that's when they carry Teen to somewhere more comfortable. Then they have a campfire while they're waiting for Teen to heal and they're opening up to each other. We learn how Jen got bound and we learn more details about each of the witches. Agatha is not at the campground. She is right by Teen's side. And when he wakes up, they talk a little. And he's like, oh, you care about me. And she's like, get some rest. Agatha joins the campfire and she's opening up too. And then it's Rio's turn. And she shares a story about how someone broke her heart. Obviously, she's talking about Agatha. Agatha gets up and walks away. Is it too much for Agatha or she just doesn't want to hear it? Either way, she walks away. Rio follows her and they're getting familiar with each other and then Rio stops and says, the boy is not yours, Agatha. And that's when Agatha stops and walks away from Rio. And that's how the episode ends. It was a good episode in my opinion. It didn't have as much action as the other episodes did, but it had details that you needed for the story to move along. I hope you guys enjoyed my recap. Don't forget to come back for more recaps and I hope you guys have a magical day.